Hello, my name is Daniel Francis, and this is my best friend, my girlfriend, my co-host,
Katie Ludlow, and I am a Swiftie.
and I am not. And this is
Our songs,
our films.
Each week we watch and rate a different Taylor Swift music video.
And try to objectively judge something that is inherently and deeply subjective.
This week we'll be taking a look at the music video For Me. We'll start by sharing our personal perception points, which, as a reminder, is the score we give after our first watch through that reflects our gut reaction to the video before we get into the nitpicking. So, Daniel, what was your gut reaction, personal perception?
I thought it was perfect.
You
I gave
did?
it a 10.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. I really enjoyed this.
I am in shock. I sat across the table from you and watched you watch this for the first time, and you showed no emotion until the very end, and then just one tiny little smile.
I got a poker face.
A 10!
A 10. No, I really liked it. What did you give?
I gave it a 7.
Oh, well, okay.
I did not like it.
You didn't not like it.
I did not like it. I actually really enjoy it. It's one of it's one of my favorites. But I do have some gripes about it.
Okay. So you said you had a little bit, just a little bit, right? Of information that we want to get into before?
So there's a lot of background here. There's a lot of background to the song and the music video. And I actually had to reach out to my high school best friend, Maddie, who is a huge Swiftie, probably the biggest.
Shout out to Maddie.
Shout out to Maddie. You can follow her, Miss Perfectly Fine 13 on TikTok. If you like Taylor Swift content, go follow her.
So what did Maddie have to enlighten you about?
Well, it's a mix between what I found and what she told me. But to start, Me is the first song Taylor Swift released through Republic Records. So this is her second label that she signed with. And so as far as I can tell, it's the first song of hers that she owned. So that's exciting.
That's really exciting.
Me was the lead single for Lover, Taylor's 7th album, and the first album that she owned. This album was a huge shift in aesthetic from her last album, Reputation. Reputation was really dark, heavy, and kind of emo looking. Mm-hmm. And Lover is very light, airy, pastel, colorful.
When I think of Reputation, and I fell off of Taylor right when Reputation was coming out. And all I can think about is black lipstick and black spandex, the shiny skin tight leather suits, you know?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Right. That's pretty accurate.
I'm surprised she didn't dye her hair black.
Honestly, that would have been a move.
Yeah.
So the first clue to this change in moods that happened appeared on Instagram. Through the Reputation era, her Instagram aesthetic had been really black and white. If there was color, it was really kind of dark greens, dark maroons, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then it slowly, not even really slowly, but it morphed into Easter pastels. And this started on February 24th of 2019. Mm-hmm. And the first post of this was a picture of 7 palm trees, and the caption was 7 palm tree emojis.
Because of the 7th album.
Probably.
Okay.
The next day, a picture was posted of Taylor on a staircase, and she was sitting on the 6th stair.
All right.
The third day, she posted a picture of a fence with 5 holes in it.
Gotcha.
Everyone thought this was a countdown to something, and everyone was getting really excited. And it wasn't just the fans. Companies like Billboard and BuzzFeed, they were all getting in on it, and everyone thought Taylor Swift was counting down to something. Uh-oh. And on the 4th day, she posted a picture of her cat, Meredith, looking shocked, and the caption said, "She just read all the theories." And the countdown that had been happening came to a grinding halt.
Oh, no.
On April 13th, so this is a month later almost, or more than, Taylor starts posting close-up detail shots of pastel things like jewels, nails, flowers, etc. Some of these were from the Me music video, which no one had seen at this point, so they didn't know that's what they were from. And others were just pictures. But they were all captioned 4.26. So
4.26.
April 26th.
Okay.
She posted these every day for 13 days.
Okay.
On the 25th of April, so this is the day before the video released,
Yeah.
she posted a picture of herself with the caption, "Me," the title of the music video. So it says, "Me," by the one and only, and then she tags the photographer.
Okay. As if this is a photo of me.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. "Me" was released first as a music video, and it came out April 26th. Which, fun fact, was the same day as the release of Avengers Endgame.
Whoa. All right, which one got more acclaim? I don't know.
I don't know. But Maddie told me her favorite part of the Lover Endgame release date was a tweet that said, "If you guys keep being mean to Taylor Swift," I can't even read it, "I'll post Endgame spoilers." and then they posted, "Iron Man dies, I'm not even kidding."
All right.
And I think that's amazing. "Me" was written by and produced by Taylor Swift and Joel Little, and Brendan Urie, who is a featured singer in the song, helped with the songwriting as well. The song debuted at number 100 on the Billboard Hot 100 before jumping to the number 2 spot the next week. So it broke the record for the biggest single week jump in the chart's history.
Is that common to be so successful as like this is one song?
Yeah, I think singles are usually the popular ones.
Okay.
The song broke several Amazon Music records, including most first-day streams, most first-week streams, and most on-demand voice requests with Amazon Echoes. I said Echoes so that everyone's devices didn't go nuts. On Spotify, "Me" opened at number 1 on the global charts with almost 8 million streams on its first day.
Whoa.
Taylor received mixed reviews for the lyrics of this song. Some loved the tongue-in-cheek songwriting while others called it weak, but that didn't stop the song from selling over 2 million copies in the US, certifying it as double platinum, which I think answers our question from last episode, which is, what does platinum mean? I think it means 1 million copies.
Interesting.
I'm not sure. I'm using context
so
clues.
Like 8 platinum or 10 platinum is 10 million copies?
I think. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Taylor says none of the song takes itself seriously,
okay.
which I think is important to know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I could gather that.
Well, right. But if you think that she's coming into it with like, this is a really good song that I wrote to be very serious. Anyway. In 2020, "Me" won the Hito Music Award, which is a Japanese award show. She won Best Western Song. I thought it was important to note that it was Japanese because I said, this is not a Western song.
Yeah.
But then, right.
No, it's definitely a Western song. It's from, it's very much Western pop. But
right.
Yeah.
But it's not country Western. That's what I thought by Western. And so I was like, what?
That makes a lot. Yeah, I see it now.
The "Me" music video received over 65.2 million views within its first day of release, breaking the 24-hour Vivo record previously held by "Thank You Next" by Ariana Grande.
Which is a phenomenal song. I just recently heard it for the first time. Somehow.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Oh my gosh, I love that music video. You should watch it sometime.
I'll watch it sometime.
It has Colleen Ballinger in it. Miranda sings.
Oh.
Yeah. "Me" won a VMA for Best Visual Effects at the 2019 MTV Video Music Awards, the Best Video at the MTV Europe Music Awards, and the Best Female International Artist Video at the MTV Japan Video Music Awards. This music video was directed by Taylor Swift and Dave Meyers. In describing the video concept to Brendan Urie, which you can watch in her documentary Miss Americana, it's on Netflix, Taylor says the video is meant to be, quote, "everything that makes you you and everything that makes me me." She later said, "If you were to split open my imagination, what would come out?" Mm-hmm. And I think that's a pretty accurate description of this video.
Just crack it open and see what spills. Yeah, it's...
The last thing before we jump into this video is that Taylor told her fans that everything in this video is an Easter egg and to pay close attention.
Really?
She said there are 3 levels of Easter eggs, from obvious to least obvious, which pointed to clues about the upcoming album, which included its title. She hadn't announced that at the time.
All right.
Singles, and the tour that was coming up.
Okay.
So let's jump into the synopsis for this one.
I'm excited.
There's a lot that goes on in this music video.
Honestly, If this goes on for too long, we might split it into 2-part episodes.
I really don't want to do that.
But we'll figure that out later.
But there's so many details, I'm sure I'll miss some. So I definitely recommend, if you are in a position to do so, i.e. not driving, go watch this music video so that you can follow along a little bit easier.
And quick shout out to us seeing the Eras tour last week, but next week in the timeline.
Oh yeah, while we're recording this, we have not yet been to the concert, but when you hear this, we will have already been.
And I'm excited. I'm stoked.
Next week's episode will be all about the concert. So hopefully, unless something goes
unless
wrong.
there's a 2-parter for this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, let's get into the synopsis.
We open
Ooh.
to a rainbow road. A rainbow stone road.
A rainbow stone road.
It kind of looks like all the stones were colored in chalk.
Yeah.
But I like it. The title screen appears. It says me. And beneath that, it says, directed by Dave Meyers and Taylor Swift. And then a light pink snake slithers across the path.
Which I think there's a lot of really good VFX in the rest of the show, of the video. But this snake, it felt off.
Really? I think of everything, this is the
most realistic.
It looks good to me. I mean, like, does it look like a real snake? No, it's white and bubblegum pink. But like, it was well done, in my opinion. Regardless, a snake slithers across the path, and the camera angle moves from an aerial shot down to be in front of the snake, and the snake hisses at us, and then, what do you call that? It attacks. It
snaps. It bites.
It comes forward like it comes to strike the camera.
Yes.
And it bursts into a bunch of pastel butterflies.
Is this like her saying my snake era is over and then a bunch of butterflies?
Yeah. Her growth from Reputation into like something
a lover.
Beautiful. A lover, yeah. We follow one of the butterflies. It flies up past a whole bunch of pastel houses. It's on like this street.
It looks like a street from Europe.
Yeah. And it's really pretty. But it flies up to the upstairs window of one of the apartments there. And in the apartment, we see Taylor in a white tulle skirt with flowers on it and a black top with a plunged neck. It's very, I think it's the rear window.
Really?
Yeah. Hitchcock's Rear Window.
Oh yeah, it does look like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of film references throughout this video.
That's Grace Kelly wears that.
Thank you. I knew her name was Grace, and I could not think of her last name, which I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah, no, that looks. I mean, it's a little modernized for the music video, but yeah, it's a very similar look.
Right. Anyway, we see Taylor inside. She's talking in a muffled voice. We can't hear what she's saying, but I want to comment on this really fast. Her voice sounds a lot angrier than her body language is showing. Her body language here, I feel like, through the window, looks pretty relaxed. But her voice sounds raised. But then when we cut inside, and this is another thing, her hand magically goes from like being like up to being folded into her other arm. It is a continuity error I noticed. And I didn't notice it until I nitpicked.
At least she's standing in the same spot.
Right.
I'd also, before we move on too fast, there's a Christmas tree in the background.
She loves Christmas.
But there's no snow outside. I don't know.
Well, they might be in France because they're speaking French.
They are. By the way, they're speaking French.
Yeah.
No, I think they are supposed to be in Paris or some kind of European town like that. But I think France gets snow.
I don't know anything about
Anyways.
France. Before we go into the house, I would like to note that when I was reading Wikipedia's little article thing about this, it says the setting of the video is inside of a giant chrysalis. And I'm not sure if I agree with that, but I think that would explain the strange sky. I like the sky. It looks cool, but it's it's kind of random, but
it might also explain the goo that will happen later.
Okay. We are now inside the house with Taylor. Cool. Brendan Urie is sitting in a sofa seat across the room from Taylor, and on the couch across from him are two cats. And these are Taylor Swift's cats.
I assumed.
Meredith Grey and Olivia Benson.
I like the set in this room.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make a little... I know that I'm interrupting you over and over.
It's okay.
But the colors are very homey. And,
I love
and it just feels...
And it's cohesive to the rest of the music video without it being, like, unnatural.
Yeah, because it is so vibrant with its color.
Right.
Even though it feels a little bit more, like, natural. Like, I could see this being a real room.
Right. Everything in the room, for reference, the walls are all, like, a deep teal, greeny color.
Like that.
And it's got, like, pink accents in the room. Like, the couch is, like, a pinkish color.
I wouldn't call that pink.
They're muted. They're not, like, vibrant at all.
It's like a pinkish brown.
Yeah.
And hardwood floors with some very nice, rugs that kind of complement the walls. And it's very nice.
Anyway, Taylor and Brendan are having a fight. They are having a fight in French, and
there are subtitles.
There are subtitles, and I wrote down what they said. So Brendan says, "Please calm down." Taylor says, "I can't talk to you when you're like this." Brendan says, "You are so dramatic." Taylor begins walking to the door and she says, "How dare you? And in front of our young daughters." And she gestures to the cats on the couch. And she says again, "And in front of our young daughters." And Brendan says, "You need to calm down." And Taylor says, "I am calm." She
Very
screams it. And she leaves. I do want to say, I wish, and I don't know, maybe calm is where you would put the emphasis on this sentence in French. She says, "I am calm," when she screams. She emphasizes calm.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I wish that she would say, "I am calm," because he says, "You need to calm down."
Yeah, I
am calm. You wouldn't say, I am calm. Yeah,
no, I mean, that's
deal.
fair.
It's not a big deal at all, but I do kind of wish that
maybe that was the only word that... I mean, does Taylor Swift, can she speak French?
No, there's a behind the scenes video of her working with her coach, and she just says it over and over and over, and the guy gives her
sort of like you with the German.
Oh yeah, I was in a show in high school where I had to have a German accent, and I literally wrote down the words in gibberish so that I could learn
the literal sounds of it.
Yeah, and I didn't learn them like in English with an accent. I learned them in gibberish. And so I still have them memorized.
Wait, you weren't actually speaking German, you were just speaking the accent?
I was speaking the accent.
Oh, I thought you were speaking German.
It was English with German intermingled.
Words. Oh, okay.
So
anyway,
Taylor slams the door, runs out. A cat meows, and Brendan throws his hands up in the air, kind of like, "What the crap? What?"
Yeah.
And then we cut to Taylor, who has left, obviously, and she's in the hallway now. Everything is pastel. It's all very light and colorful and beautiful. She looks very
Blues,
dejected.
Yellows, reds.
Yeah. She looks very dejected and sad. But then right as the music starts, she snaps out of it, and she's super bubbly and happy, and I love it. I love how quick she snaps out of this.
It almost feels like she's playing being mad at Yuri, or Brendan Urie.
Yeah.
Like she's lying to him or something, or she's playing him in a way.
The way that she snaps out of it reminds me of Barbie.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just very like, wow, I'm happy.
I'm not going to speak to how good of an actress, like an actual like cinema actress, Taylor Swift is. I haven't seen her in Cats yet, so. God. But if Margot Robbie wasn't playing Barbie in the new Barbie movie, I would want Taylor Swift to at least just be the actress.
Taylor struts down the hallway. She's singing, acting super bubbly. And then we cut when it says, "And there's a lot of cool chicks out there." We cut back to the apartment to a shot where we're looking over Brendan's shoulder at the wall where there's a bunch of framed paintings of baby chickens with sunglasses on.
Oh, yeah.
And one painting of the Dixie Chicks.
All right, so those are the Dixie Chicks.
The Dixie Chicks.
I wondered, because I was wondering, is this the rest of Panic at the Disco?
No, that's Dixie Chicks. A lot of cool chicks.
That's really cool. The chicks.
It's also a nod
Dixie
because
chicks.
this is an Easter egg.
Yeah, okay.
Because in the Lover album, she has a collaboration with the Dixie Chicks. Now we're looking at Taylor walking through this huge lobby with grand staircases on all sides. There's thunder clouds around her, and one of them forms a snake and tries to swallow her up, but then turns to dust when it tries to.
I'd like to point out the one that turns into a snake is the same one that has a pink telephone on
Oh,
it.
yeah. When she says, I know that I went psycho on the phone, there's a little phone, which I think is fun because it's a nod to the old Taylor can't come to the phone right now. Why?
Oh.
Because she's dead from Reputation.
That's a rough line. I didn't.
You didn't like that.
And
then we'll talk about that when we get to that
get
video.
To that one.
I like it, but because of what was going on. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, it's a reference to Reputation, and then that cloud turns into a snake, which I think is fun.
That is interesting.
Now we are outside. Taylor is now in a pastel yellow suit. Her hair slicked back into a bun. And
let me tell you, that's slick. That's flat.
Oh, it's flat. She's got a pink tie, pink lipstick. Like a helmet. She looks very, very good. And a bunch of women in pastel business suits and heels come on and dance behind her, eventually creating a circle around her with their colorful briefcases. Which I do have a gripe about this, and I have since I've seen this video. And this is one of my favorite scenes in the whole video. Mm-hmm. But I wish that either there was one more dancer so that they could have 2 of each color, or that they randomized the colors because there's 2 pink, 2 purple, 2 yellow, and then 1 peach. Or maybe I have the colors wrong, but it's like 2, 2, 2, 1. And I wish that they were either randomized or that one more dancer could have come up.
I just want to say, this set out here on the street, like every single house is just brightly colored, like you're walking down one of those streets in San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
And it's really kind of it's picturesque. I love the direction it went.
It is. Our shot moves and we see that the street is full of women in these business suits, and they're all dancing. And then we cut to Brendan looking out the window down on the dancing from his apartment. And he looks kind of bugged by it.
I love Brendan's outfit.
Yeah, it's like a deep maroon, would you say, or mauve?
Yeah, it's like a like if maroon and brown had a baby.
Yeah.
And I think it's velvet too.
Yeah. He looks very slick.
Oh yeah, suspenders and everything.
Oh yeah. Anyway, Brendan's looking down at the dancers, and then we cut back to the dancers, and they all look up at him, and he shrinks away from the window. And Taylor looks back at the camera and gives us a wink. As the second verse begins, Brendan leaps. He jumps off the balcony, and now he's in a white floral suit.
Oh yeah,
which is so fabulous,
phenomenal.
And he jumps and grabs an umbrella from the sky. And floats down a la Mary Poppins. Mm-hmm. And the sky is full of Mary Poppins
people. Some of them are holding onto the umbrella with their teeth.
Yeah.
Some of them are hanging from it like upside down.
One person's riding it like a broom.
Yeah.
I think it's fabulous.
At 1:54, there's like a close-up of another actor.
A Nanny McPhee looking dude.
Is this like a cameo of like someone else?
Or... I don't think so. I was gonna ask if you recognized him.
I didn't recognize him.
No, you know who he looks like is Agatha from Jessie on Disney. He looks like Agatha.
That must have been after
probably
after my time with Disney Channel.
Probably. But that's what he looks like is Agatha. Anyway, that doesn't matter. And then we cut to Taylor, who is now on the roof of a building, on a unicorn-shaped eave.
Oh, and I see the Easter egg for the album Lover right there.
In the background is a Moulin Rouge-esque sign of Lover. It's the album title in like the font, but no one knew. It was speculated that was maybe one of them, but they had a few guesses. She's in a super ruffly pink dress, and the dress becomes like a waterfall, and waterfalls off the building.
So we got more of those umbrella people behind.
Yes. So Brendan lands behind her with his umbrella, and a whole bunch of of people land, and I don't know if any of these are references to other people. I didn't recognize any of them, but anyway, Brendan kneels and presents Taylor a bouquet of pink flowers, which she shakes her head to, and
he throws them off the building.
He throws them away, and so he pulls out a ring box, which she rolls her eyes at, like, ugh, that's so annoying. It's so annoying when your lover gives you a diamond ring.
Yeah.
And so he throws it away and
that's what happens when you're rich.
Oh yeah, pulls out a kitten, and of course, the cat lady that she is, Taylor happily accepts.
Now,
a note on this cat that is pulled out. The first time Taylor was introduced to this cat was on set, and she immediately fell in love with him. And there's an entire behind the scenes video dedicated to this cat.
Really?
And how obsessed with him Taylor was. And when the handler first shows Taylor the cat, she is just doting on him, and she says, "Can I have him?" And the trainer goes, "He's available." And so Taylor
adopts him immediately.
Wow. And
I assume this is Benjamin Button.
Yes, okay. That makes him the third of Taylor's children. That is literally the note I made. The third of Taylor's children. His name is Benjamin Button, and
the third heir to the empire.
That means that all of her children are in this music video.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Which is so sweet.
The whole family.
And Brendan. After Taylor takes the kitten, Brendan opens up one side of his suit jacket to reveal a wooden heart on his chest, which he flips open and reveals that it is a kaleidoscope, which the camera descends into. Taylor revealed on a live stream that this is a reference to her 1989 lyric, "Kaleidoscope of Loud Heartbeats Undercoats," which I think is the most clever
It's a very literal...
ever.
Very, very literal.
Like, kaleidoscope, heart, undercoat, ridiculous.
And you go down like a wormhole of various like textured hearts. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. And when you get through the tunnel of kaleidoscoped hearts, we land at my favorite scene in the entire video.
Yeah.
We are on like a go-go dancer stage.
Oh yeah.
It's like a heart-shaped stage surrounded by angels, go-go dancers. It's very 1960s, and everything's like orange and pink. Mm-hmm. And Brendan and Taylor come to the front of the stage, and we see in front of them is a huge audience losing their mind over the two of them dancing.
I think they might be cupids.
There is dancers and there is angels.
I don't think they're angels. I think they might be cupids.
Well, Cupid is a angel. He is that is the name of an angel.
Of an angel who makes you fall in love.
Yes. But anyway, I'm obsessed with the way this scene looks. Taylor is wearing a pink dress with a heart on it.
With like a corset that looks like a heart.
Oh, it's gorgeous. She looks so good. And Brendan's outfit is amazing.
It's amazing. He has this well, it's not an ascot, it's the ruffle. What's that?
I have no idea what it's called.
It's like a tie of some sort.
It's beautiful.
But everything is red. Everything is pink.
Look stunning.
It's phenomenal.
As the bridge of the song starts, we are back on the streets. Only now, it looks like we're in like a town square kind of setting. There's a huge building in the back that looks like a hybrid between like a Capitol building and a castle. There is the end of a rainbow just in front of it. Mm-hmm. The town square, whatever this is filled with people, and they're all in bubblegum pink marching band outfits. Mm-hmm. And a group of them lift Taylor, who is in a mint green, like, leotard version of this outfit. They lift her in the air, and she says, "Spelling is fun!"
Yeah. Brendan says, "Hey, kids!
Spelling is fun!"
Yeah.
And this will forever and always be the lyric that everyone makes fun of.
Really?
When they...
Not Taylor's dead.
No, everyone always makes fun of this lyric. I've made fun of this lyric on this podcast.
Well, yeah, because this is funny.
Spelling is fun.
I think but it's supposed to be funny.
It's not supposed to take itself seriously.
Yeah.
But it gets made fun of.
I mean, I think it's a joke and people laugh at it.
I think that this bridge is the downfall of the song lyrically.
Are you kidding me?
Lyrically. But like, I know that it's a joke. And so it doesn't bother me, but I think that other people hate... This is like the song that everyone despises when it comes to Taylor Swift. Like, Swifties hate this song.
What?
And it's because of this bridge. I'm confident of it. Because it's so good, and then the lyrics here. and I think it's funny. But I think a lot of people hate the joke. Anyway, Taylor is in this mint green outfit, and she has a bubblegum pink bob, which I think is kind of cute. And it feels very Oz to me. Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah, sort of like when you get to the Emerald City.
Yeah. That's what her outfit screams to me. But the whole town square is breaking out into this, like, marching dance, and the ground flashes lyrics like, me, and I in team. And at one point, in the middle of this section, and I literally laughed out loud. Yeah. I don't know if we're talking about the same part.
Okay, what?
A great big purple word art.
Yeah.
Of the word me.
Just
rolls from
right
the bottom
across
of the screen to the top. And I laughed out loud. I said, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, it is really just hammering in how, not little effort, because there's
so much effort.
But I'm not going to say that they're not taking this seriously.
No.
But, like, it's not serious. It's phenomenal. I love it. I'd like to point out that I haven't seen these behind the scenes videos, but I think that the majority of the people you see in this scene
are CGI.
But I would imagine that they're using a similar technology to what they used in, like, films like The Lord of the Rings, where they would, like, come up with, like, a couple different figures and then just copy them and shift the time on it so that they all repeat and whatnot, and copy it to make an army.
Yeah, definitely. There's no way there's that many people.
Or had them do the dance over and over so that there would be little inconsistencies and then just splice them. Yeah, I think it's great.
Right. I do want to say, though, Taylor and Brendan, as I love this little dance that they do, but it looks like they don't know what they're doing, and they're, like, marking it. It looks like a rehearsal. Like, they're like, oh, now I come over here. And then at one point, Taylor, like, lifts her leg, and it looks like she's not entirely sure if she's supposed to lift it or not. And so she, like, lifts it strangely. Anyway.
Because Brendan doesn't grab it or anything.
Yeah. It just looks like it was, like, a dress rehearsal. And then they were like, okay, great, we got it. And they were like, wait, no, we didn't do it full out. That's how I don't know. Like,
that's how you imagine it.
It's still very good.
No, I think you mentioned this to me in a past episode. Isn't Taylor, like, infamously a terrible dancer?
Oh, yeah, she's an awful dancer. so, like, I'm sure that's what it is. But I also was like, it looks like we're missing something here. Yeah. As the chorus starts, Taylor and Brendan run toward the Rainbow's End, and we cut to them in I'm using Wikipedia.
We go into the rainbow, right?
Yeah, I'm using Wikipedia's verbiage here because I couldn't find a way to describe this scene, and I liked what they said. Okay. They said, a psychedelic-esque kaleidoscope. I said, yeah, that's accurate.
It looks like a tunnel of
lights.
It's like LED squares that are all different colors.
And they're on, like, a floating platform.
Now,
and
I want to point out, this floating platform reminded me, and I know that this came out 5 years before this halftime show, but was that Rihanna?
Oh, yeah.
It looked a lot like, or maybe hers looks a lot like.
Rihanna was inspired. But Brendan and Taylor are both wearing blue suits with white boots. Taylor's are cowboy boots, which is definitely
a reference.
Not necessarily a reference, but in her documentary, she's, like, listing things that she wants, like, to be her things to be.
Oh, her things.
Because she's like, I want everything that makes me me. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember all the things she lists. Cats and whatever. And she says country western. And so I think this is her nod to that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, they do a little dance. The scene changes one final time, and Brendan is alone, it seems, in the streets outside their apartment, and he's using what looks like Elsa's Let It Go choreography to make paint explosions appear in the sky. And the camera moves back, and we see Taylor is standing in the middle of the street wearing a blue dress that melts into this
almost like melting ice cream.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way to describe
it.
I also just want to say her hair's blue at the tips, and it's cute, and that's what she has on her album cover, and it's a cute look for her. Anyway, Brendan brings an umbrella over to Taylor. He's having a very singing in the rain moment here.
He's having the time of his life out there.
It's so fun. And then he brings an umbrella over, and I think it's kind of fun because he sweeps the umbrella through Taylor, and it, like, the paint splashes.
No, that was just something I was going to point out, is that with CGI VFX like this, where you're adding volume to the environment, it's very difficult to actually, like, track where, like, someone's feet go and like how they're interacting with it.
Right.
And so very often it'll feel so fake, but they went through the effort, and you can tell it's CGI.
Right.
But they went through the effort of him, like, when he steps through the paint, or the goo, that he makes, like, splashes.
Yeah.
And
they had 35 digital artists credited on IMDb.
Yeah.
I was gonna list, like, as many people as I could.
We could probably just put a link to the IMDb page.
Yeah,
we'll do
that. We'll do that. But there are 35 digital artists.
Yeah.
So they were not without help. It's very well done. Anyway, Brendan brings his umbrella over to Taylor to protect them from the falling paint, and the streets fill with this goo, this paint, as the two of them walk off screen to their apartment.
Except that her dress is still dropping.
Still just
so like, it's just gonna get in the
exploding
apartment.
Yeah. Anyway, it is a video if I ever saw one. There is a lot.
It is great.
On. It's a good one.
It's a good one. I liked it.
I like it.
But
too.
You still gave it only a 7 for your personal perception.
I gave it a 7.
Okay.
You know what? The more I talk about it, the more I love it, though.
Yeah.
You
can't change it.
I'm not gonna change it, but I do love it.
Well, let's talk about that right now. Let's go to the scores.
Okay, for the complexity / intelligence of the songwriting, I gave it a 6.5. And I really struggled with this score. I really did.
Giving it so low?
I did, because I said the like instrumentals are really good, but it was meh. I especially really like the percussion bit in the bridge, with, like, the drums.
Yeah.
I really do like that.
And especially because, like, I mean, maybe they were referencing that with the marching band, you know?
Right.
Maybe that's
sure
why they went with marching band for that scene. I'm going to turn on this.
You know what? I'm actually going to give this a 7, because the more I look at the 6.5, the more I'm, like, unhappy with it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to bump it up half a point,
Gotcha.
Make me feel a little bit better.
Well, that matches me. I gave it a 7 as well. There was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed this song. It's definitely not as repetitive as many of her other songs.
No, yeah.
But I think that, you know, it was for fun, and it was written as fun.
Right.
And that's not what this specific rubric is asking for, is if it's fun.
Right. Performance.
So, 7. Performance.
I gave this an 8. I didn't write notes, but I think the reason I didn't give it a higher score is because I didn't love their inflections when they said, "Hey kids, spelling is fun." I think it's funny, but when you're listening to it, it's so annoying. When you're watching it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But just listening, I'm like, oh.
I like music that has not random bits of dialogue in it, but like I
do like that kind of stuff.
I have a series of, not a series, but a set of songs in my favorite, you know, playlist that have like little bits of like a radio talk show host or like an old movie, like a black and white movie, and
well, you have one where they're like, "Tell me about the moon."
I do love that one. That one's called.
It's so strange.
Actually, I'll have that as my that's my my song suggestion, and I'll mention that at the end.
Okay. What's your performance score?
My performance was a 10.
A 10.
It all fit. You know,
yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
I liked it.
No, yeah. Oh, I do want to say though, while we're talking about the performance, Brendan Urie was sick when he recorded this.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that wild? He does not sound sick.
I mean, yeah, he's a performer. He's a professional. He knows how to do it. I wish that, for the sake of his voice, he wouldn't push himself when he's under the weather.
Yeah.
But
there's a really funny bit in Miss Americana, the documentary that Taylor has, where Brendan's recording and he sings, "I know I tend to make it about me," and Taylor goes, "Can you actually sing it like, I know I tend to make it about me," like telling him don't do the me,
the accidental,
and he goes, "Come on, Brendan, you're screwing it up." And it's so funny to me. He's amazing.
That's phenomenal.
I like him. And Taylor says at one point in one of her interviews or something or other, that she heard that Brendan Urie came to one of her concerts, and she was like, "Man, I wish I could have seen him. I'm such a big fan."
Yeah.
And she wanted to collaborate with him. And so ever since she found out that he was a fan of hers, she was like keeping him in the back of her mind for when there was a project that like he could work with her. Yeah. And as soon as she came up with me, she was like, "This is the perfect opportunity because he's so fun and bubbly and blah, and he'll just like eat this up."
Where were we?
What'd you give performance?
I give it a 10.
Okay. Expression. I gave this a 7.5. I actually don't know why I gave it a 7.5. That's what I gave it, and I'm gonna stand by it.
Okay. I gave it an 8. Okay. I felt happy watching this.
Yeah.
It lifted my spirits. It moved me in that way.
Right.
It did its job, you know, I think.
Yeah. Lyricism. I gave this a 6.5. I said the bridge is the song's downfall. Which I've already commented on. Does that take it down
3.5 points?
Well, I don't think it's a good song. Lyrically, I don't think it's that great of a song anyway. Okay. I probably would have given it like a 7.5.
If it wasn't for the bridge?
If it wasn't for the bridge.
Okay.
So I didn't drop it that far because of the bridge.
Gotcha.
It's not a bad song lyrically.
Yeah.
But it just didn't hit me. What'd you give lyrics?
I gave it an 8, but I think I'll change it down to 7.
Yeah.
For the bridge.
For the bridge.
For the bridge.
Spelling is fun.
Actually, no, 7.5.
I reminded you of your favorite part.
Yeah.
I do like that part. I think it's funny, unless I'm like listening to it just randomly. Like by myself is fine, but like when I'm listening with other people, I always am embarrassed.
Maybe because you're like, oh, this. I know what the rest of Taylor's catalog is usually like.
Well, and I like Taylor's deep stuff. I like to pour into lyrics and anyway. Message. I gave this a 6.
Okay. I gave it a 7.5.
Yeah. I wish I could have given it higher, and I really wanted to. I think I was originally thinking about an 8 because in one of her interviews, or maybe it was the documentary, I'm not sure, she says, "I just want little kids to be like, I love all the things about me, and I just want little kids to be like happy about who they are." Like that was kind of her, not her idea, but that was one of the things she said about it. Mm-hmm. But I feel like there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
And so anyway.
All right. So going on to the video, cinematography. I already mentioned this before. I gave this video a lot of high scores. Cinematography, I gave it a 10.
You know what? I think I'm going to give it a 10. I gave it a lower score originally, but I don't really have a reason. I wrote, it didn't feel like a 10, but it was really well done.
It's phenomenal.
It's really well done, so I'm giving it a 10. I think I was just being a snot.
Out of curiosity, what was your lower score?
It was an 8.
Okay.
I was like, it didn't feel like a 10. That's my note. Color. I gave this a 9. The only thing that prevented it from being a 10 in my mind is the paint gloop stuff at the end.
It was kind of muddy.
Yeah, I wish that it was a more vibrant color. Yeah. It felt like it was muddied by like a gray undertone.
Yeah.
And maybe that was just because it's getting dark outside, but I feel like it still could have been vibrant without it being muddy.
A 9?
Yeah.
Okay, I gave it a 9 as well.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I don't want to just complain. The rest of it was phenomenal. The apartment at the very beginning.
The colors were gorgeous.
The bright. It wasn't
the pastels of like the suits, the colors in the go-go scene. It was all very cohesive. Like each scene had its own color scheme, and they were gorgeous.
And it wasn't just like random pastel colors. There was still a very particular palette to it. And I loved it.
Definitely. Editing, I give this an 8. My biggest note, I guess, it's really my only note, is in the hallway scene in the very beginning when she's being very bubbly Barbie in her Grace Kelly dress. There seems to be a lot of cuts between like a close like profile shot of her and then like her full body shot, and I wish that they had just like moved from the profile out to the body and left it and not touched it again, but it feels like it comes back and forth too many times in my opinion. So that was my only thing.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 9 for editing because I didn't find anything wrong with it. Mm-hmm. I was not complaining about anything, but I didn't find anything that I found that I thought this was a wonderful choice. You know, nothing spoke to me in the use of editing.
I agree.
And so it didn't get to quite a 10. So that's why I gave it a 9. Down to costume.
I gave this a 10.
Yeah, me too.
10.
I gave it a 10.
Scenic design, I gave an 8. Actually, you know what? I'm bringing this score up. I'm giving it a 9. I don't know why I gave it an 8.
I give it a 10 on scenic design.
Yeah.
Because not only... Because with our scenic design rubric, that also includes...
CGI.
And
it was so well done.
It was really good. I mean... You could tell where the real world started and the real world ended. And so in that regard, I mean, I wasn't lost in it. And that's where CGI really excels.
Right, but I don't think it was ever meant to be like, wow,
she's really in this weird world.
Right.
You know? But it was phenomenal, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Performance, I gave it a 7. I think
was part of it because of her inflection of calm? Yeah,
it was. Okay. That is part of it. And then the other big thing was the dance in like the town square that I felt like was kind of marked. It looked like something was off. And I don't know if that's just because they didn't quite get the choreography or if they were like, just have fun with it. And then they weren't quite sharp enough with it or what it was. But I felt like it was a little bit off. So I gave it a 7. But it was still very good.
The ending didn't really land. It felt like maybe Brendan didn't have an idea of how to finish it. Because he looks down at the leg coming up, the leg that you were mentioning earlier. And he's like, does he like point at it or something?
Wait, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about the ending with the paint.
Oh, yeah, that definitely. No, I'm talking about the awkward dance.
Oh, I was okay
with the marching band outfits. Okay.
Because I was talking about that, but then I thought you changed the topic to the other one. So I went.
No, and watched that one definitely.
No, he like points at her leg.
Yeah, like what's going on here?
Just grab her leg.
Which maybe I mean.
And I kind of like that they look more like friends than lovers in this video. Yeah. I think it's fun.
Even though they're definitely like lovers in the beginning.
Yeah, in this universe.
After he proposes to her.
I like it because like you're supposed to be friends first. You're supposed to be friends. They're such good friends. And they happen to be lovers.
For my performance score, I gave it a 9. I thought that I had little tiny nitpicks of their acting in the very beginning of it.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I liked their performance. The dancing was fun, and I don't know. I really liked it. Performance of 9.
Right. Direction, I gave this a 6.
Really?
I'm definitely changing that now.
How did you?
I'm changing it.
When did you give these scores?
When I watched it.
When did you in the day did you watch it?
When did When in the day?
Yeah, where you like, I am so tired. I want to be done with this.
It was probably like 11 in the morning.
Okay.
So I was like alive. No, I'm changing that. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Okay, and hold on. I just want to clear this with you. You're giving it a 7.5 for the video.
Yeah, for the direction of the video.
For the direction of the video. For the direction of the video. The overall vision. Let me give you my score, and I'll try to defend myself.
I'm gonna change it.
No,
I'm gonna change it because if you give your score and then I change it, then it'll look like peer pressure. I'm changing it.
No. Just say you're nixing your score. You're reevaluating.
I'm reevaluating.
Okay. I gave it a direction score of 10.
I knew it.
Because this whole thing, aside from I mean, even including the very beginning, that the scene in the beginning before the song starts, it's just like you're stepping into a romantic drama. It's just weird.
Can I tell you?
Okay. And then you step out, and all of a sudden she's happy, like she just played him or whatever. And I don't know if that's what's intended, but like we're just moving on with ideas so fast. And then the idea that her dress is turning into a waterfall, and there's a whole bunch of people outside who all look like colorful business people.
Giddy while you're talking about this.
And like the concepts and the direction and the execution, it's just all phenomenal. And Mary Poppins.
Okay.
His costume, the way that he proposes to her, the use of the cats,
Okay. Let me
everything. It's just it is a fever dream of imaginary nonsense, and it's wonderful.
Okay. You're so right, and I'm giving it a 10. And listen, as I'm like, you're so right, and I love this video. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it.
Are you gonna go back?
No, listen, now that I'm thinking about it, I was like trying to put myself back in. Why did I give it these scores? I think I was afraid to be bullied.
By me?
I think.
Or by who?
By everyone.
Oh.
I was afraid to be bullied by you because you hated Love Story, and I felt like I was being bullied the whole time. By me? And then I know that everyone hates this song, and I was so afraid to give it a good score. I don't know why people
don't like it. I think it's phenomenal.
I was afraid to give it a really high score because I was like, if Daniel hates it, I can't go through a Love Story again and have everyone else in the world be like, Katie, this is not a good video. But I love this video.
As the non-Swiftie,
it makes me so happy.
As the non-Swiftie, I think this is a great song. I think this is phenomenal, and
I'm happy with my scores. I changed direction to 10, but I'm happy with the rest of them. I love this video.
It's great. I loved it.
It's a great video. I'm so glad you liked this video because I would have given it low scores and I would have been fine with it. I would have. I mean, not even pretended. Like, I think there was a part of me that, like, wanted to not like it because everyone doesn't like it. And maybe people do like the video, but I only ever hear hate for the song. Let's move on to our Afterglow points.
Well, could we give our totals so far before Afterglow?
Oh, yeah. So I have 105 out of 130.
Okay, I have 117 out of 130.
Cool.
Which is interesting. Oh, no, you were usually just, like, a half point below me or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so we both get the personal perception bonus because we were both above a 7 on our personal perception. Remind me what yours was?
I was a 10.
You were a 10. I was a 7. So that is a point from each of us. For Easter eggs, I have
callback points.
Yes. Sorry. I have a list that I'd like to go through.
Okay, I only had the snake, and I didn't really count that.
Okay. I'm sure there's so many more than this, but these are the ones that I wrote down. I wrote the snake to the butterfly and how that signals reputation to lover. Dixie Chicks on the Wall, it's both a clever play on words and it's foreshadowing to their feature on the album. The Rainbows,
the Dixie Chicks were on the album?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The Rainbows, which are nodding, I think, both to her more public status as an ally at this point in time, and then also referencing the upcoming You Need to Calm Down music video, which
we haven't done yet. I have not seen that.
The film references, such as Mary Poppins, Singing in the Rain, Moulin Rouge, Umbrellas in Cherbourg, and The Rear Window. The kaleidoscope of loud heartbeats under coats. Psycho on the phone reference from Look What You Made Me Do. And then Brendan saying you need to calm down in the beginning is referencing the title of her next single for this album, You Need to Calm Down.
Oh.
Anyway, so those are the ones that I listed. The points, I argue that the lover sign and the snake to the butterfly could count for Claire, for the Claire point.
Yeah.
Dixie Chicks on the Wall is what I wrote as cohesive because there's a lot of cool chicks out there. It's just kind of like, haha, she put the Dixie Chicks up there. Yeah. But then it's also an Easter egg because...
Because, I mean, their name is the Dixie Chicks, and they're cool.
Right. So referencing that they're going to collaborate later in the album. And then clever, I put the kaleidoscope of loud heartbeats under coats. I just think that is genius.
It's pretty clever.
It's so clever. Are you kidding me?
I didn't disagree with you.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
No, yeah.
I liked it.
Okay, moving on to our play points. Do you want to go first or should I?
Well, I don't have as many to talk about as you. I gave all 3 of my points to the fever dream of this song. This is what I wrote. Credit to the direction, VFX, costume, and scenic team. Everyone. It's just phenomenal.
I want to know what you were wanting to give. He says, can I give higher than 10 points? And I said no, and he says, okay, I'll give it my play points. But I want to know what you were going to give it to.
I was going to give it to direction.
I see. I was
going to go like 11 or 12 in direction. I just thought it was just a phenomenal...
I see. Taylor is a genius. My play points... Okay. My first one is for the go-go dancer scene. I love that scene. Mm-hmm. My second one is for the briefcase dance, the one right outside her apartment building, before it zooms out and you see all the dancers. I love the camera moving back with her, and then the dancers coming in. I really like it, and I think I like it too because there's like a behind the scenes shot in her documentary of the filming of that, and I like watching the process of how that was filmed. I think I also really like the image of Taylor in a business suit. Yeah. It feels very powerful. And I also wrote this down earlier. I wondered if her dressed in this business suit, and this is such a stretch, I feel like, is maybe a nod towards another music video that's coming up for this album, which is The Man, where she will be dressed as a man.
I have heard... I think I've seen that video, actually.
My last play point, I originally had a -1, and
I saw that.
I changed it.
Okay.
It's a +1 for the word art of
you usually...
Me!
Did you have it as a -1 because you're like, this is dumb?
Yeah, I was like, that's so stupid. But it made me laugh. It brought me so much joy. I watched it like 4 times. And as we were talking about it, I was like, you know what? I actually really like that. And so I went and changed it because I think it's just so funny. Like, that's the part of the song where you can just tell they are just... It's all a joke. It's just all a joke. It's just funny, it
is a very expensive joke.
I'm
and
sure.
It lands,
yeah, I'm sure that they were back in that editing room, like, want to know what would be so funny is if we just put like word art on the screen.
Yeah,
and that's like the kind of joke I make with my friends all the time, and I laugh my ass off about it. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, so I gave it a +1. So all 3 of my points are given.
You know what?
What?
All right, if we agree on this. And we might not. Okay, I'll finish this thought after. The last question. How well does the video benefit the song?
Oh no. Okay.
Do you want to say it at the same time?
Well, I want to read you
your note?
What I wrote.
Okay.
And I don't know if I agree with this note yet.
Anymore?
I haven't read it. I was just going to read it.
You wrote it.
Right. I wrote all of these notes and I disagreed with a lot of them. Okay. I said, I argue that the song is nothing.
Wow.
The video is something. The song is not interesting, and the video gives you something to look at and have fun with, and it should get 1 point.
What? The song is nothing.
It's like on one when I wrote this. God. I don't know if I read like some me hate propaganda right before recording, or not recording, but before
researching.
But I really was just like, I hate this. I don't like it. I don't like this.
Wow.
I think it gets a 2. This video brings me so much joy.
Well, and if anything, using the argument that you wrote down, then it definitely gets a 2.
No, yeah.
Because the video benefits the song a lot at that point.
I say the video
really benefits the song.
I think, you know what? I think we give this a 2. And you want to know what that means, Daniel?
This has a perfect 13 out of 13 for the Afterglow points.
This is the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah.
This is our first video with a perfect 13 points for the Afterglow. So I'm gonna just review my score. I got 105 out of 130 with a 13 Afterglow bonus.
I gave it a 117 out of 130 plus 13.
Suggestions. So I'll go first. My suggestion for a song is, I've been obsessed with this song all week. Like, literally cannot stop listening to it. Mm-hmm. It's Mother by Meghan Trainor.
Yeah, you've got it stuck in my head while I'm at work.
So good. And for my film, I am suggesting my favorite movie. Actually, I think it's tied for my favorite movie. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Mm-hmm. It is officially available to stream on Peacock. We have had to go see it in theaters five times.
Yeah.
And I watched it for the 6th time with Daniel and my brothers. And I love it. I watched it again today and I am obsessed with it. It's so good. If you don't like Shrek, you'll like this one.
Yeah.
If you do like Shrek, you'll like this one. Anyway, those are my suggestions.
All right, for me, my song that I mentioned earlier is "Spring and a Storm" by Tally Hall. The second part of the song, there's like 3 parts of the song, is this little interlude where like this school of children say, "Mr. Moon, tell us about the sky."
Oh, I thought they said, tell me about the moon.
No.
Tell us about
the sky. Okay. And then the moon says, "The sky is dark and eternally high."
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It was very alarming the first time I listened to it.
When you die. Yeah, it's great.
But I think,
don't
you know
dox
what?
me.
I want to listen to it again.
Don't sue me. I love your song.
Anyway, what's your movie suggestion?
All right, my film suggestion.
I'll never not feel like that's such a haughty word.
Film.
I watched a film today called Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
There's a difference. I will say that this is a film.
Okay.
And I showed it to you just a couple days ago, and you loved it.
I did.
The French Dispatch.
I liked the Grand Budapest better.
Really?
But I did really like the French Dispatch.
Really? The French Dispatch is Wes Anderson's newest film, I believe. And the Grand Budapest Hotel came out a couple years ago. But they're both phenomenal. If you know anything about Wes Anderson, these are so much Wes Anderson films. The French Dispatch is a love letter to an actual publication called The French Dispatch, where the publication was written in Kansas by American people who maybe visited France at one point. But they are writing as if they are living and reporting on a fictional French city called Ennui, and so the movie is told in 3 parts, which are the different stories in the final publication of the magazine.
Yeah. Any last thoughts on me?
My last thoughts. I think that it's a bright and happy song, and I definitely like a lot of her more serious stuff.
Yeah, I love her serious
stuff that makes me think about like oh wow, I've never thought about it that way. But me ! Is a fantastic, not respite, but like a breath of very bright air.
Here's my last thoughts.
Okay.
Everyone needs to be nice to Taylor Swift, or I will spoil Endgame. Because you're so right. Like, I am the first person to just really want something to chew on. I want things to think about. I want to be left. I want to be left thinking about something and wanting to revisit it. And this isn't that. And I love it. Next week, we will be talking about our thoughts on
the tour.
The
Eras
tour. And Daniel will be taking us through that. And I guess my question is, are we going to be rating it like a music video? What is our plan with that episode?
Maybe we can just talk about it.
Okay. After the tour, we will be looking at Hours from
Me
Speak
and
Now.
Hours. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I'm Daniel Francis.
And I'm Katie Ludlow, and this has been Our Songs,
Our Films.